I'm Mark Callahan, Mr. Saltwater Tank, and this is Mr. Saltwater Tank TV. Everybody keeps asking me, they say, Mark, I want to see an update on your tanks. I want to see what's going on. I want to see what new things you're doing with them. So today, you asked for it, I'm going to deliver it. I'm going to show you each of my tanks, talk you through what's changed so you're up to date with them. And let's start with my 90-gallon SPS heavy tank first. The big change for my 90-gallon tank is that I've added LEDs to one half of my tank. I've put Ecotech's Radion LED fixture over one part of my tank to test it out. Now I'm not going to cover my whole LED experiment with the Radion or the Radion in this video. If you want to learn more about that, follow the link at the bottom of your screen. But I will give you this update. I'm about 2 weeks into the experiment and I've seen no changes with the corals in my tank. Now 2 weeks is a very short time frame for this experiment, so again I can't draw any conclusions just yet because it is so short. But I'm happy to say that nothing's died, everything continues to look great. All I can do now is wait, sit back and see how things fare out long term. Now, LEDs have been a step forward for my tank. I have suffered a little step back in another area. Another change that's happened in my 90-gallon tank is that my project of trying to get a rose bubble tip garden right here in the corner, well, I faced a major setback. One of my rose bubble tips while I was on vacation decided to go for a walk around the park and walked into my MP40 and got ground up. Yeah, basically it committed suicide. Now, luckily my tank was on cruise control, my tank buddy came in, caught it, did a water change, and my tank is fine. I saw no ill effects for the rest of the tank. But I'm down one rose bubble tip anemone. So I've got to wait for my remaining bubble tip to split to fill out what I hope will be my rose bubble tip garden. Now, a lot of people ask me, they say, well, why do anemones go walking like that for no reason? Well, the answer is we don't know. It might be a change in lighting, change in flow. Some people, they just think it's the moon cycle. The truth is, we don't know why they do it. Sometimes they just take off, and when they walk into a power head, it's bad news. What's the latest on my sexy tank? Well, it largely looks the same. Remember, my point with this tank is to only buy rare fishing corals, things that really jumped out at me. I'm not trying to fill it up quickly with all the usual stuff. So not a lot has changed, but here are a couple things that I've added. Put in a rose bubble tip anemone, and then I have a small zoa colony down here on the bottom. I wanted to put some extra zoas in here just to make sure the tank was ready for them, see how they would do. And as a bonus, I got some pretty wild looking ones out here on the edge of this rock that I'm happy with. The biggest change that's happened with the sexy tank is something that surprised me a little bit. I actually had to add a set of cooling fans to the sexy tank to keep its temperature under control. Now, I don't think this is because of the LEDs and the lighting over the tank. One of the selling points of LEDs is that they run cool and they don't add a lot of heat to your tank like halides can. I think it's more of a function of we're having a scorching hot summer here in Texas. In fact, there are wildfires all around the state right now because everything's been so hot and dry. The sexy tank was getting up around 82, 83 degrees, and this is way too hot for a saltwater tank. I noticed that the SPS pieces that I added in here, they went ahead and kicked the bucket and died, so I said, well, something's happening. I checked the temp. Sure enough, the tank was getting too hot. So I added a Tensei Aquawind to help cool down the tank, and it works great. It looks good too. Compared to the kind of cheapo looking computer fans over my big tank, the Aquawind looks sleek. It even has LEDs in it as well to let me know that it's working. Now I'll keep adding to the sexy tank as I see things that catch my eyes. Again, I'm not in a rush to get this tank filled up. I only want to grab stuff that's unique to me, stuff that is really eye-catching. So for now, it's cruising along, and I'm enjoying having a nice little softy tank here. The last tank I want to update you on is my Fat Jack LED experiment. Now I'm not going to go into the experiment. If you want to learn more about it, follow the link at the bottom of the screen. For now, I just want to give you an update, and the update is this. For the moment, we're shutting down the Fat Jack LED experiment, and here's why. The whole system, it continues to be stressed. We've lost SPS coral under the halides, and we've lost SPS coral under the LEDs. So we looked at it and said, well, it's clearly not the LEDs that are killing the SPS coral. What is it? Well, we looked at the tank, and we've narrowed it down to what we believe is a Vibrio bacteria infection of the SPS coral, because the SPS coral is the only thing that's dying. So until we get the bacteria infection under control, until we can keep SPS coral alive in the tank, we're not going to try to continue the experiment because it's just not a fair comparison for the alkalination soil unit. I think the soil is a good fixture. I know it will grow coral. I've seen plenty of pictures of it, but until it has a fair proving ground, we're not going to try to continue with the experiment. Once we get everything under control, we'll look at restarting it. I want to pause for a minute and say thanks for writing in and asking about my tanks and requesting to see updates. It makes me feel good as a reef keeper to know that people are out there wanting to see what's going on with my setup. So thanks for writing in. That's all the setups that I have. That's all the updates for them. If things change, I'll keep you guys in the loop. And until next time, I'm Mark Callahan, Mr. Saltwater Tank. This has been Mr. Saltwater Tank TV. Have a good one, enjoy your tanks, and know your tank personality.